What's up YouTube, DrunkHoboBoy here, and I decided to jump on the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare trailer bandwagon. Everybody has been talking about this, and the main reason I decided to do this is because one, people have been asking me, yo, hey, what do you think about this teaser trailer reveal that Activision has put out, or Call of Duty has put out? And the other reason is because my good friend Def Dowsey made a video kind of supporting the game, which I don't agree with at all. But he does make some good videos, so I'll put that down in the description because give credit where credit is due for inspiration for this video, I guess. And the first thing I will talk about is the history of Call of Duty. Briefly, for those who don't know, or those who have been living under a rock, or for those who just really don't give a shit, which is actually a lot more people than I thought. So we have two different developer companies, developers, and that would be Infinity Ward and Treyarch. And since the beginning of Call of Duty, they have both been making different games, although part of the series, because Activision has been publishing the games. So they're like the producers of the games, even though these two different companies develop the games. Really hard to understand. Yeah, I know. Very, very hard to understand how that works. So what has happened since the beginning is Treyarch kind of has been on that road of the old war games. And by that, I'll mean like Vietnam, World War I, World War II, that era. So when I say old war or old war-esque games, that's what I mean. I mean that era of games. So you have Treyarch and Infinity Ward, and they're both kind of split up because they're both making different games. Although they're in the same series, they're both kind of different, although they're both kind of the same because Activision is publishing and funding both of these games and releasing them. And Treyarch always kind of stayed on the path of the World War II genre of FPS, subgenre, I guess. And they eventually went, well, through Black Ops, they went to Vietnam, which is still an old war-esque game, even though it's in more recent history. It's still kind of in that period. And then you have Infinity Ward, who has gone the more modern approach and has been doing Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Ghosts, I mean, another pretty modern one. I mean, the list goes on. And then you got the new one, Infinity Warfare. Yeah. Actually, I think Treyarch might have made Ghost, but still follows the path. And it gets kind of confusing because you kind of lose track of who's developing what game. Even though that doesn't really matter, it still kind of does matter because during this era of old-esque games, old war-esque games, you had a lot of people by time of Black Ops or Black Ops 2 saying, yo, hey, we're kind of tired of the World War II games. Can you maybe try something else? And that's when people really liked when Black Ops 1 actually came out, because they're like, well, hey, we're not stuck in this era, we're not bored, we're going into the future, it's really cool, I love the steps we're taking. They're also weirdly in the modern era too, which is confusing, but Treyarch's on this side, Infinity Ward's on this side, and that's just kind of how it goes, and that's just kind of how it's been going, at least for the most part, with the exception of Ghosts. But you see where I'm getting at. The people, they wanted the newer games, they wanted to go into the future, and the way that Treyarch was kind of following their formula on how they were developing the games, it was really good. People liked the games that they were making, so they said, hey, if you made the same exact game mechanics, you know what I mean, environment, but change it up a little bit, just bring us into the future, because we like what you guys are doing, we like the UI, we like the gameplay, we like the environment, we like it all, but can you just kind of move us up a little bit? And Treyarch, Infinity Ward, probably mostly Activision, because they're making the game, they're like, hey, you know what, let's do it, let's absolutely do it, we're kind of going that route anyways, but let's just go full-fledged because people are tired of these old war games. Oh, they're so tired of them. And so that's what they did. Infinity Ward's like, hey, well, we're gonna make mostly all the modern games. You can stick to Black Ops 2 and 3 or whatever the hell you're doing, Treyarch. That's basically Infinity Ward's answer. And so this is kind of where we have the fallout. You go from Black Ops 2 to Black Ops 3, where you get really futuristic, and you leave the whole old war-esque era behind, which makes people pissed, because while you were on track with the Vietnam era games, you were still in old war era games with Black Ops 1. And we like the progression you were making, but we still kind of like that era, but we still want the new era games. That's where it gets confusing, because people mostly wanted to go into the future. Well, Activision decided to put most of their money into the futuristic Call of Duties and said, Infinity Ward, here you go. Make them all. Basically make them all. Also, we don't care if you recycle the same garbage, the same assets, the same environments, the same UIs, even the same final cutscenes, which this is actually proven. They use the same end scene for one game and another game. We didn't forget about that. Now with fishes, real life fishies. But people are starting to go crazy. And about 4 years ago, people started saying, let's get these old war-esque games back. We want them. We like them. We want them back. We saw what you did when you got really money hungry and decided to just shell out garbage because you want even more money, because we're going to buy them because we're hoping for something better, even though you're giving us trash every single fucking time. But yeah, let's give you some more of them futuristic games. We're not even in modern anymore. Let's just give you them futuristic games. And the internet has been like, nah, can you just stop a little? Can you actually stop? Because we kind of want to go back to World War II, World War One, Vietnam. That era we would really like and appreciate if you just kind of slow the fuck down and kind of go back, because the creative control is kind of out of hands. You really don't care what the fans think anymore, and it's awful. Can you please stop? That's basically what the fans are saying. And along came someone called DICE, who makes these games called Battlefield. Don't know if you've heard of them. But of recent history, they probably wouldn't be considered AAA games due to the release and sales. Maybe AA games, maybe. Not a single A game, but definitely a AA game for sure. And they're like, we've done this before. Battlefield series, we have Battlefield 1942. We're trying here. We're listening to the internet. We're listening to fans of FPSs alike. We just want to make something quality. We want to listen to what people actually want, because that affects the market and sales. The fans, kind of what gamers want is what affects the market, not what you want. Even though you want to make a certain game, you kind of have to attribute that to the market itself. And you have to take into account that what the people want is what the people want. You can do what you want, but you kind of have to also do what the people want and what they ask for. And, DICE is like, hey, you want this old game? We'll give you this old war-esque game. We'll bring you back to World War One. And they came out with a really, really fucking badass trailer with biplanes and horses and shit like that. And people are like, holy fuck, someone actually listened. And that's exactly why the trailer has so many dislikes, the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare trailer. It is absolutely because of that. It's because the fans are like, yo, Activision, Call of Duty, fuck you. You guys are not listening to what we want. You're not listening to the fans, who, by the way, made your game what it is. The community makes Call of Duty as a whole, because it's an FPS, and the communities kind of run FPSs, because without people to play on your servers, you don't have servers, and you don't have anyone playing your game. It's simple as that. It's very simple. You need people to play your game to make money. Well, DICE obviously knows what they're doing, and Call of Duty's like, let's make another Infinite Warfare. Another Future Warfare. And yo, that's exactly what they did. And when it first came out, people were like, "Oh yeah, this is so cool, like hype, whatever." Like I'm really kind of upset because they didn't listen to us for yet another year, and it's right before E3. Like I'm kind of sad, but it's okay because Modern Warfare Remastered's in it, and that's cool, and I like that game, so I'll get it. So here's not vote on your trailer, blah blah blah. Hype, hype spread, hype spread, hype spread, and it just keeps spreading and spreading and spreading, and that's what happened on social media. But then came along the Battlefield 1 trailer, and people were like, oh my god, holy shit, is this actually real? Is this happening? Someone, some big developer and publisher actually listened to us. EA's kind of trying to get their shit back. They've kind of been working pretty nicely with Battlefront, even though I will say it's not really the greatest game in my opinion. They have been kind of trying to make up for what they did, even though I don't know if they're fully quite even close there yet. They're still trying. They're trying, I'll give them that. You got a big publisher like EA saying, hey guys, like for once, we actually listen to the fans. Here you go. And the fans were like, what the fuck? Holy shit. Like, we actually have a World War One game. An old war-esque game. Like, what's going on? This is crazy. I can't believe this is actually happening. So you have all these people having a rush of emotions like, yes, nostalgia. I remember playing these old games as a kid or as a teen or young adult, and I was just with my friends online playing in like World War II, World War One, blah blah blah. You know how it goes. It was different. It was different back then. It wasn't a huge mass market of games where people didn't take that kind of thing for granted. They were like, well, we got something that we appreciate and we're going to play it because we appreciate it and our friends do too, and we can play with our friends and have this awesome community. That's how it works. And what did Infinity Ward and Activision say about that? Well, people are going to buy our game anyways, and we really don't care because the per view ratio is pretty good, which doesn't make sense because your video has 2 million dislikes. Like, it's probably one of the most disliked videos in YouTube history. The internet clearly hates your videos. Video. I don't know how many trailers it came out with. I'm pretty sure that's the only one. But it comes back to the formula, the Call of Duty formula. And step one is very simple. Step one, accidentally leak. And I say that with air quotes. Accidentally leak your game's title so you get people talking about it and journals talking about, is Infinite Warfare the new next title? Ooh, could it be? More details next from our gaming journalism site. That's exactly what they do. That's step one. Step two is, hey, we just came out with the name of the game. And how do we know that? Because the trailer just came out for it. But hang on, back up a sec. It's not actually a full trailer. It's just a teaser trailer. And by Call of Duty standards, what that means is let's shell out a lot of money to make this trailer look really cool, even though it's basically the same game as the last one. But let's make it look really, really cool, shell out a lot of money. And by the way, every single time we do this, we're going to use pre-rendered gameplay because we can't show actual gameplay because the game's not even close to done, and it's probably not even going to look that great. It's probably going to look the same because, we're going to reuse the same resources and things like that. And, that's just how Call of Duty is, simple Call of Duty. You can't blame us, we're just trying to make money. We don't care. That's step two. That might be the final step too, but that's what you got. The third step is question mark, aka profit. But this time, I really don't think that's going to happen. The only reason why people will buy Infinite Warfare is because of Modern Warfare Remastered. And what I have to say to that is, whatever you do, guys, do not pre-order this game. Obviously, we know pre-ordering is a big problem. You shouldn't pre-order a game unless you actually know 100% it's going to be an amazing game. And, you have I don't even have to talk about why pre-ordering is bad, or the whole season pass thing's bad. Gamers with sense and common sense know why that's bad. Back in the day when you actually, and speaking of games like Call of Duty World at War, where you actually had to go to GameStop and you had to pre-order the game because they didn't have enough copies, and the only reason why you did it is to assure you had a copy. And now they just mass produce the game to the point where they're gonna have enough copies, but they're just making sure that they have that money from you because you pre-ordered it beforehand. And at that point, they can say, we're done developing the game. We don't have to keep patching it or whatever. They already paid for it. You know how it goes. In conclusion, what do I think personally? Aside from the facts that are down, I think Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is going to be a recycled piece of trash. It's honestly what I think. If it's anything like the past 3, maybe 4 Call of Duties, I'm not gonna like it. Is it gonna be recycled? Maybe not. They've been following that formula of using recycled sounds, animations, anything to do with gameplay, environment. That's just a thing that they do. Do I think it'll be a good game? No. I don't think it'll be a good game at all. They add all these random features. They just kind of throw all these things in the game, hope it turns out good, don't really take care of it after that, and it's kind of a sad cycle, but that's kind of a reason why I think it won't be good. It's pretty sad in my opinion. Pretty desperate attempt to get people to keep playing, but as the years have gone on, Call of Duty sales have gone down, and with this year, they're going to be down, probably record sales, they're going to be down. It's probably going to be my prediction is it's going to be pretty bleak for them. And, that's all I can really say because I can't tell the future, obviously. But do I think it'll be a good game? Absolutely not. Do I think people will buy it? Maybe for Modern Warfare. But I think people are more hyped at this point about Battlefield 1 than anything else, that they really kind of aren't caring anymore. Because if you don't have a lot of people buying Infinite Warfare and you don't have a lot of people playing Call of Duty Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, then you're not going to have a lot of servers and you're not going to have a lot of people playing, and it's just a endless cycle. And honestly, it's not something that gamers should support. If you truly have a love for the Call of Duty series, take a year off, get Battlefield 1, enjoy what you've been waiting for forever, and give them a year, see if Treyarch decides to bounce back and make a World War II type game, but not if they add that stupid DLC season pass bullshit. Don't support that. We can't show game developing companies that we're soulless, because we're not, and we care about the quality of our games, we care about our communities, we care about the people who play the games. Just please don't ruin this. Call of Duty, if you truly care about the fans, Activision, if you truly care about the fans and not money, you will rethink what you're doing, rethink your formula, try really hard, maybe take 2 years to make a game. You don't have to release one every year. Maybe make a quality game, maybe take a few years to make a very, very quality game. You can do this. These are options. You can actually do this, believe it or not. The game industry does not depend on you, and I think soon you will realize that when Battlefield 1 sales are so good, at least by what's promised for now. That's it. Peace, subscribe, thanks for watching. See you guys later.